Donald Trump's niece has offered up a long piece in the Sunday New York Times about claiming that her uncle Donald is demented, like his father. And she goes on about he's acting just like his father did when he was getting Alzheimer's, and on and on. Uh, it's a little hard for me to sort out from what she says how much of actual detailed observation she's basing this on. But it's now that I know a lot of people that are over 80 years old, and even more people who are in their 70s, we talk about memory loss. My sister is 3 years older than I am, and she's in a assisted living, and she tells me stories about memory loss. And one of her frustrations is that some of the people she really likes there uh, can't remember that they've told her the story twice before recently, and some pretty profound uh, memory loss that she's confronted with. But uh, I'm fascinated by my own memory loss, and I'm a little tiny bit worried about it. Not much, because I think it's what I'm experiencing is normal, and it hasn't become a major difficulty for me in my daily life. Uh, I've developed habits of only having two or three places where I put my car keys, or uh, various things that I may need soon again. Uh, if you've only got three places you ever put them, then you've only got three places to look. But you forget where you set it down. And uh, but there are other things that frustrate me about memory. One of them is remembering names. Uh, some names, I hear them once and bing, I've got them. But others, I think about them and I repeat them, and I ask my wife to remind me what was their name, that person we met yesterday. Uh, so, with other things I can remember, I can still learn Spanish. Uh, I have to think about it over and over again to learn a new word, but I can still do it. That's the rewarding part of it. And I can remember a lot of things from the distant past, like the name of my first grade teacher and my classmates back in grade school and things like that. So I'm not terribly anxious about it, but I am quite aware of it, and it is a definite thing. And uh, I don't know all that much about what causes it, but I know some things to do to deal with it. One of them is to get good rest, and another one is don't get so overloaded that your mind is cluttered, uh, and uh, pay attention. Think about it. I do want to remember that now. And then I've got all these mnemonic devices. Uh, uh, you learn somebody's name, and then you attach it to somebody else's name that you've known for a long time, and like the name of a movie or an actor or something. Um, so there are all kinds of things you can do to help yourself with your fact that your memory capacity is not as great as it used to be. They say a 65-year-old has to go over it 7 times to learn it, or is it 17 maybe? 17 times. Whereas an 8-year-old, they hear it 3 times, they've got it. So it's just a fact of life, and you got to pay attention. You got to pay attention and stay kind of calm and think about, now I want to remember that, and then think of something you can associate it with. Uh, and that's about short term memory loss.